We're live.
Hello, hello. Thank you all again for tuning. Can we restart?
No, it's live.
Whatever. Hello, hello. Thank you all for tuning in to our Make a Culture move, where we cover trending topics and encourage our people to make the next move their best move. My name is Mark Jonathan, and to my right we have
Tabitha about Israel.
And one more over we have.
Hey, it's Janice up in here.
Yes, indeed. And we will start with Janice's topics, where she just covers. Well, she would go into what she's covering. Are we each introducing our own topics? I guess that's something we should have discussed beforehand.
Yeah.
Yes. So my topic. Okay.
Disclaimer.
So today, disclaimer. So all of the views here spoken on the Make a Culture Move podcast do not all represent the MACM organization as a whole, and some of our opinions will be controversial.
Just letting y'all know. All right. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off with Janice to my right.
Okay. So Janice is here. Right here. Okay. So we're going to talk about opportunities. One of the main things I always like to bring you guys every week is what you can get for free. Because you know what we like the most? Free stuff. You know what I'm saying? Free food, free clothing, unless it's like weird. But yes, free. So let's go over to that website real quick. I'm going to leave this website in the description for you guys below. But I would just like you guys to get a feel for it, just to see it for about a minute.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, yes. So, I'm weak. So, yes, this is the website. They have 100% free courses. You type in the search bar whatever you want. Like, I'm going to type in something weird. It might not pop up. Okay. We look that up. And these courses are taught by professionals, okay? So, let's see. These courses are taught by trained professionals. That's what's the best thing about it.
How to prepare your baby for swim lesson 0 to 8 months.
Yes. So this is a lot of good things coming up here. Okay. And that's just pretty much the free courses and things that they offer there. I really looked at that website and appreciated it because I'm always willing to learn new things. So yes, that is the first opportunity.
Just to comment on what we just saw about teaching babies 0 to 8 months how to swim, I think that is crazy, y'all. Because for some reason, I don't know who told me this, but because we are basically swimming when we're in the womb, if you just throw a baby in the water, as crazy as that sounds, it will take off.
Yeah, there's a video of a white woman throwing her baby into the pool, and the baby was just like.
That's really how I learned to swim.
And
I'm serious. My stepdad did that to me. I'm like, this isn't even my real father. Steve? No, his name is Andy.
Oh, okay.
My mom married him.
Steve sounds like he would do something like that.
Steve is horrible.
But anyway,
he's horrible.
I love you, Steve. Shout out to Steve.
Okay,
so also I want to show you guys some free cooking lessons, some free dancing lessons here. I'm just going to show you the cooking lessons because you know what I'm saying.
If I may, real quick though, so the website you just showed us would show anything that ranges from like cooking to building stuff.
Anything.
Interesting.
And it's trained professionals, so it's almost like videos you watch on YouTube, DIYs, things like that. But it's trained professionals teaching you this stuff. So like you're not learning how to be an electrician from somebody that never dealt with electricity.
Right.
Never dealt with electricity.
Yeah, you will. I'm saying if you're dealing with somebody that's never ever dealt with like electrical problems ever in their life, you'll mess around and electrocute yourself.
Exactly, like.
And I will be suing that person and the company, my family, because it'll be RIP. I'll be on a T-shirt somewhere.
Not on a T-shirt with the clouds and some angel wings. Damn. Okay, so let's
get. She really was beautiful. She just wanted her toaster. But let's go ahead.
Okay, so cooking lessons, free cooking lessons. This website is pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, this website is pretty cool. So as well as having like cooking lessons on the side, you'll see that there's virtual events going on, Everything on this website is virtual stuff. This is not free. Not all the things on here are free, but a lot of them are. This one is not free cooking lessons. They also offer a lot of cooking lessons here for you. Yes. So yeah. Yes. Thank you. Okay, and so then the next thing I'm gonna talk about, we're gonna segue. Skirt.
What are you segueing to?
Skirt. I'm segueing over to Black people. We need to work on our health, okay? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Hey, I'm talking to you right now while you're looking at me in the eyes, okay?
Right.
We need to work on our health because you are less susceptible to dying from COVID-19 if you eat well and you exercise. It's proven, y'all. And I'm a medical professional.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Where you graduate from?
I Emily Griffith. Okay, right. But I'm not really a nurse. I'm a nursing assistant, but I'm still I'm a licensed medical professional. Okay, and I'm bringing it to you live. Okay, so let's go to that video. Let's go 2 minutes.
This video?
You have to share.
I don't think you shared the video, sis.
I put it on the Google Drive.
All right. So we're gonna skip the video because I don't have it.
That was so funny. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We could just look it up because
okay, we gonna revisit that video. We gonna bring it back.
If you wanted to find it real quick, I actually had an opportunity to bring up with hers because I hella didn't think you. That's my bad.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So, my friend just recently posted for all of you that's trying to get some money, $22.37 an hour for King Super's warehouse work. So what they'll work, if you're not sure, warehouse work would just consist of a little bit of heavy lifting, not really, but stacking shelves, making sure all inventory is where it needs to be. And again, this is $22.37 an hour. Their shifts.
What's up, y'all? Came on stage. We're watching Black people go hiking for the first time.
Their shifts were to go.
I'm trying to.
The shifts range from 4 hours.
What's up, y'all? Came on stage. We're watching Black people go hiking for the first time. A bunch of times,
I don't know why that's even. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, Mike. Yes, heavy lifting. Okay, that's a wonderful opportunity. And we're gonna post that information for that in the description below. So yes.
Just a disclaimer, also, y'all. This is our first time going actually live on Facebook with our podcast. So a lot of our bloopers, y'all gonna get them right here live, okay? And y'all are here experiencing it.
Yes.
Authentically, nothing out.
So also, that video that we were speaking on earlier about Black people going hiking, we have a little bit of comedic relief for y'all.
Yes,
hopefully y'all think that it's funny.
Make sure you play it 2 minutes because he's such a movie stuff.
2 minutes. So,
Say dangerous?
no, she said.
Say dangerous.
Ignore my notifications.
Okay, yes. So this video.
People exercising? Look at them. They not about to exercise. They like roll blunts and we chill and ain't nobody exercising.
I do go to what?
Video just to tell you guys to exercise, work out. Because when Black people, we get together and we, do fun, exciting things, we always have a fun and exciting outcome.
All right. So I guess that's her way of awkwardly segueing into my segment of the show. I'm just
I like how she throw me under the bus half the time.
I didn't try to throw under the bus. That was not my intention, y'all. Anyway, so we are going to talk about some local news in Colorado that has happened recently. We're going to talk about a man that got shot by the police and he died in the hospital. And it's ignorant because it's like he wanted to get shot. Who walks around waving a gun at the police when they're saying, put the gun down, and you threatening other people around you? That's ignorant. And us as a people, we need to get ourselves together. We just need to get ourselves together.
Especially in this time.
I don't know. Today I'm like popular, and I'm just like stop. See what I'm saying? Anyway,
This is the last.
Anyway, so we're about to dig into this article. Again, this is about a black man that I guess he just was ready to go, y'all. And we as a people need to accept that some of our people just ain't right. And that's just how it is. So let me start. This past Wednesday, 2 Denver Police Department officers fired shots because the man was waving a gun and threatening others, police said Wednesday night during a news conference. The man was taken to a hospital where he died Thursday morning. He was not identified. Police were called around 5 p.m. to 10th Avenue and Inca Street, where the man was pointing a gun at the police in a car. Ron Thomas. Little Ron. You know they call him Little Ron.
Ron and Day-Day.
Right. A police department division chief said during a Wednesday night news conference, when police officers arrived, the man turned and advanced towards them, ignoring commands to drop his gun. Ron Thomas, Lil Ron, a police department division chief said in a news conference. The officers shot and killed him. That's rough. That's rough because a lot of times we don't want to take responsibility for the things that go on in our community. We like to play ignorant and be blind to the signs and blind to the times of the signs of the times. As many of disparities as we've seen in the African American community, especially with like the George Floyd execution, the Breonna Taylor shooting. I forget the young man's name that was just running away from the police.
Scott, I think that's his name.
Ahmaud Arbery as well. That was a whole nother. It's just like there's just so many different names and people that we could point out to. Trayvon Martin that happened so many years ago that it's just like Elijah McClain. Like it's crazy, and you would think that we would be more willing to submit to the police, but we're not there as a people, and I think that we all have that talk with our kids. You know, don't back talk, have manners when it comes to police enforcement, and I guess that's a talk that this young man, Lil Ron, his parents, they avoided having that talk.
And not only that, but like when I'm really reading this and looking at this also brings into question the mental health of our people. Because it doesn't seem like a regular person that doesn't kind of have mental health issues would do that to me. So I feel like that should be taken into account as well. Like we need in Black households, we don't talk about mental health. And I think that we should definitely talk about mental health as well as obeying the police, obeying the laws of the land, just because we don't want to end up dead in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So.
Absolutely. And just to add on and to piggyback, we definitely, I like what you said, we don't discuss mental health at all. As far as, I know I can say at least from the male perspective, like I'm rarely asked, or I am asked how I feel about something, but my response is always like, it's always nonchalant or indifferent towards something. And that's something that has to change in our society because like if we take the example that we just listened where the police officers are killing our Black people, like a lot of that is just not really one, understanding your rights, but even once you understand, once they're being taken and once injustice is actually happening, we tend to automatically want to fight because we think, so, okay, we're American, all those rules, those exceptions apply to us. My parents always told me just make it home. They know I got a smart mouth. They know I got attitude. They know I'm quick to strike, quick temper, and I'm very short fused. Like it don't take a lot to set me off.
Don't talk about his mama.
And that's like genuine. Like that's genuine. I know that's a different conversation, but that's genuine. But yeah, like I was saying, like my parents just always just told me just to make it home, and I think that's something that it's unfortunate, but we got to preach that to our youth because.
Again, it's a sign of the times, y'all. We're gonna get into a clip from when a black officer was dealing with, I would call righteously, with another African American person on the street, a civilian, and he ended up getting shot because he was like, "Take your hands out your pocket." And then the next, he's on the phone like, "Man, whatever, man." And then the next, you know, pow, 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 and the officer's like, I'm hit." So I'm just like, this is just, it's horrible. It's horrible. So, you know, as a people, like I said, we need to have more accountability for the actions that people in our community do. So we're gonna dig into this video, and we'll just judge for ourselves how we see this.
Come here. Stop. 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 Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. If you don't stop, so I'm gonna tase you. I'm not playing with you. Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. Transformer! Shots fired! This range, I'm in! This echo song, I'm in! I'm in! I'm Tyson.
Despite any feelings about the police, despite any hatred you guys have for the police, any disrespect you have for authority, that was not right. That was not right. And we have to love each other more than that. Even though he's a cop, even though he has a badge on, he's still a black man. And that should at least make you feel a little bit of respect, a little bit of sympathy. But no, you're gonna sit on the phone. You have no respect, and then you gonna shoot him. And he had his taser out. That's not even fair. That's not even fair game. That's not even right.
Because if this was a white police officer, it wouldn't have been no talking. It would have been pow, pow, pow. Because the officers today, they shoot to kill. They don't shoot to disarm. So I think that it's just really unfortunate because they probably use this video for trainings, for police trainings, to say that, yeah, y'all don't have no mercy on these Negroes at all.
Just furthermore, a lot of the topics surrounding this I know we discuss is governing ourselves. So in that instance, there was a black cop trying to at least talk with a black man. And I guess my point is, how is that supposed to happen if things like that is happening? Like, I'd much rather a black cop be stopping me than a white cop. But that type of stuff isn't going to happen if the one instance where he handled the stop correctly, you know, he has his taser out, which is lethal, but he's not going to kill you. You know, that's the one instance where he probably should have shot you because he told you to take your hands out your pockets 5 times. Like it's salute to that cop because he handled the situation accordingly instead of how some of these cops will shoot you in the back just for walking aggressively or come into your home and just start opening fire while you sleep. Like these are some of the instances where police situations are actually handled appropriately and actually handled right. And instead of it being an outcome where everyone goes home to their family safely, we see this cop was not fatally shot, but shot.
Yeah, and all praises to the Most High. This man ended up living. He ended up living, and the dude, like, he's boasting and bragging, like, yeah, I shot the police, and now he's being sentenced for, well, this was 3 years ago, but he was sentenced for attempted murder. That just goes to show you that, you know, you can't, you have to use wisdom. You know what I'm saying? When you know how your parents say, I told you once, I shouldn't have to tell you twice. When it comes to someone that has the ability to kill, and he told you once, he shouldn't have to tell you twice. I know personally, I've shared this before on a podcast, but I've been pulled over by the police. And it's crazy because as much as at the time I did not respect police officers, I show him the utmost respect. Yes, sir. No, sir. Whatever. It's whatever to just get out the situation. You know what I'm saying? To move with wisdom and not being high-minded. Like, I don't want to be high-minded and then suffer the consequence or that judgment come to pass of me being put to death. So.
And then not only that, but we were talking about this earlier. That man thought he was playing GTA trying to get 5 stars. Like, that's all that was. We can't let our kids play GTA out here because they try to transition that into the real world, and it's just not the same. It's not the same.
And then to brag about it,
he didn't get 5 stars. He got 5 bars. No, maybe more bars, but they're in jail cell.
I'm gone. That was a good little saying. I'm like, okay, all right, sis. You got one. You got one. Bars. But yes, just for a little bit of comedic relief, because y'all, we did see blood and, you know, we seen one of our brothers get shot. I want to pull up a Dave Chappelle, the truth behind police profiling. I just thought it was hilarious. People of color love Dave Chappelle. I love Dave Chappelle. So we're going to dig into this real quick. Yeah, so I put that in just for a good laugh, but also it does have some seriousness behind it because, you know, people say I laugh to avoid from crying. I laugh to stop from crying, basically. He said that he's at his house and he got shot. Or he would have gotten shot because, you know, his house is too nice. It reminds me of the story of Aubrey, who was just chilling at home with, is it Aubrey? No,
it was
wrong
Amber
brother.
Geiger.
The Amber Geiger case, basically, where she walked up into somebody else's house. He's sitting on the couch with his, I don't know what apparel he was wearing, eating his ice cream.
He was sitting in his drawer. I mean, like,
I was gonna,
like his underwear on with his tub with ice cream. With his pictures on the wall.
I was gonna say draws, but I didn't want to say that because I wasn't 100% sure. I mean, I don't think some random black dude would be in your apartment eating your ice cream.
Eating his ice cream because you know you didn't buy that ice cream. You know you didn't put them pictures up. Come on.
She didn't walk in and notice the furniture was different.
Right.
Botham John.
Portraits.
Botham John,
I guess I don't know too much about that situation, but it's crazy to me hearing it.
Botham John.
I don't know.
Listen. Why is there a black man in my house? No, in his house.
Right.
With his drawers on. Like, I just
Why
can't.
Why are you there? That's the question.
That's the real question. And don't you must have been drunk out of your mind. You should have not been driving or nothing. How did you just randomly walk into somebody else's house and kill them?
What was her defense? Do you know?
She thought it was her house.
That's her only defense?
That was her only defense. Only defense.
And she got a minimal sentence.
She dyed her hair blonde before the case.
Her defense is that she's white.
Yeah, her defense is that she's white and has blonde hair with blue eyes now.
But I assumed you would have to at least
She's
say something logical.
And then all the black people, okay, I'm just going to point this out because this made me mad. All the black people gonna hug her.
You told me
her
that.
hair. Oh my God.
I told you what I would have said.
It's okay, Amber Geiger. No, it's not okay.
I told you.
That's all.
And don't she got a GoFundMe too?
Got a GoFundMe with the KKK sponsored her GoFundMe. They sent her up there. You know, he had his door unlocked.
Right.
Okay,
I told you that we need to start.
I'm like, how did you know his door was unlocked though? And number one, I also blame the brother because why was your door unlocked with your drawers on?
He was sitting in his house. Why can't I have my door unlocked? Why can't he have his door unlocked? He got his door wide open. Nobody should come in.
That's like me.
And kill him.
But that's like me leaving my door on. That's like me
your
taking
door could be unlocked.
But this
you
is
have
the thing.
A gate.
Hold on, I do, but still it doesn't have a lock on it. That's like me leaving my front door unlocked and I'm in the shower taking a shower and then somebody breaks into my house and then somehow I miscellaneously get raped and I'm like, well,
God forbid.
my door was. I should have. I mean, if this is my house, you should have just walked into my house. I should have locked the door.
You have a gate. First of all, you have a gate. First of all, second of all, if you was in your house, first of all, you live around old white people, just the decrepit white people. If they come up in your house, you can beat them up. You can just hit them twice. They bones start breaking and shattering. You know you better stop. All I'm saying is we should be able, because back in the day, my grandma told me there was a time on the east side where she could leave her door open and live all around black people and have her door unlocked. Okay? And nobody walked in her house and did nothing to her.
Been some time ago.
That was some time ago. She's in her 60s, but it's okay.
I lived in the South, y'all. In the South. I lived in Greenville, Alabama. This town was so tiny, like everybody knew everybody. You could leave your house door unlocked and nobody will bother you. You could leave your car unlocked and no one will rob you, God forbid. But that's like, it just shows you how like the culture on different regions of the United States is totally different. I've never had to be I never had to have my guard up so much as when I moved back closer to the Southwest or the Midwest, whatever you want to call this. I've never had to be so conscious about every move that I made, because in the South, it's like we all are looking out for each other, because guess what? Whether they believe it or not, we're all being oppressed by the same people. You know what I'm saying? And out here, the lines are blurred and people just, you constantly have to have your guard up. There's a self-hatred that the air is so thick that we have to just be careful of each other, because somebody that doesn't look like me is going to be the first one to shoot me, rob me, do all type of horrible things to me. And I shouldn't be feeling like that. I should be able to trust my sister and brother.
Like that black man that killed his whole family because he didn't get the biggest piece of chicken. Like that's what's happening out here. That's what's happening out here, y'all. But yes, okay.
Yeah, I have no words for that. Anyway, my next article.
Just wait till Popeye's Tuesday.
Hold on, somebody died over a chicken sandwich.
Over a chicken sandwich too. Somebody got killed over a chicken sandwich at Popeye's too. You're never safe. You're not safe nowhere.
I'm just saying.
And when chicken enters into the mix, black people go crazy. They're like,
I think they put crack in the chicken.
I don't know. It's like
they put crack in the chicken because remember they put crack in our neighborhoods. Now they put it in the chicken.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I have to just look to the camera on that note.
Anyway, though, we gonna segue into this next article.
Yes,
so a white man wrote an article. A white man wrote an article called "Black Lives Won't Matter If You Don't Vote."
What?
Black lives won't matter if you don't vote.
What?
Y'all, I'm like, you got all the nerve in the world to sit up here and tell me my life is not gonna matter unless
my
I vote.
life is tinged on a vote.
Right.
To some white man
that hates me anyway. Boy.
They're gonna oppress me anyway.
So we finna get
even
into
Joe
this.
Biden. I'm not even.
That's him right there. Yes.
Ah, he's so ugly.
Oh my God.
He look like those people that live around your house.
Wow. So mind you, this article, he's talking about like the 1967, so like the late 60s. So this is what he's referring to in this portion that we're going to read. We're not going to read the whole thing. Let's preserve some time. During those same years, increased frustration that social change was not happening fast enough led to the civil rights movement morphing into the Black Power movement, a growing sense of black nationalism coupled with irritation that even the white activists could not recognize their own racism. For example, in 1966, the chairmanship of the SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, passed from John Lewis, the nonviolent, integrationist, quiet-spoken advocate for participatory democracy, to the fiery Stokely Carmichael, who coined the term Black Power. He said that Black Power should use any means necessary, including taking up arms to obtain justice. He also taught white people should be limited to supporting roles. The tactic of nonviolence was increasingly questioned, and Black leadership was also emphasized in CORE, Congress of Racial Equality, chapters across the country. Similarly, in the SDS, Student for Democratic Society, white activists transitioned from a brief in nonviolence and community organizing to the formation of revolutionary cadres using paramilitary means. Yes. These transitions, yes. So these transitions were serious mistakes because the vast majority of citizens, including civil rights supporters, were turned off to violent tactics. Despite voter registration efforts in the South and the formation of the Freedom Democratic Party in Mississippi, few attempts to translate the protests into politics, especially in the North, happened. Activists did not want to get involved in politics. And I think I wanted to leave off on that note. No, actually I didn't. If we want to make police and other aspects of the criminal justice system responsive to communities of color and progress on a host of social, economic, environmental, and international issues, Trump must not be reelected. Even our very survival as a democracy could depend on ousting him. Black lives won't matter if you don't vote.
Listen. Let me tell y'all one thing. Let me say one thing. All respects to my people, my activists who go through legislation, who believe that's the move. You know, I give a shout out to Terrence Roberts. He puts his work in there. Now, let me tell you my opinion on it. Listen, let me tell y'all right now. White people are never going to have your best interests at heart. Okay, y'all all voted, and what was that election date that Trump got voted? Y'all all voted, and he was still voted in. Y'all all voted, and then the Electoral College with all them white men that been there since our founding fathers up in the Electoral College. In the Electoral College, they'll put Trump in office, even though y'all all voted. See, okay? And then voting ain't gonna save y'all black people. We've been voting for 50 years. We still ain't saved. Still getting hung on trees in Oklahoma. Still getting shot in the street. In Ferguson to Denver, Colorado. Everywhere we go, we still dying.
Yes, to second what she's saying, basically we've been able to vote for a long time now, and there has literally been no change whatsoever. The things that we were going through in the 60s and prior to the 60s are still happening today. Black people can vote and nothing will change. And I wonder why so much pressure is placed on Black people voting. As Janice had said, how people get elected into the presidential position is by electoral votes, and that's based on like the local legislative branch. So like it's a local thing, and even then, it's still like you're the minority of the population in that state or area. So it's already like your opinion really doesn't matter. So I think that for change to happen for us, we got to support us and be for us. Because when you bring other nations of people into the mix, our vision gets skewed. And I believe that where there is no vision, the people perish because we don't have a common goal, a common aim or target that we're working towards. And because of that, we're never going to be able to fully succeed and get to where we need to get to be. Think about the Black Panther Party. A lot of I'm just gonna say we fought for the right to vote for so long that it just stopped mattering. So we had to start our own food programs, our own after school programs, our own medical programs. The Black Panther Party was the first group of people to actually test for sickle cell anemia because there was a lack for that in the medical field that was not being fulfilled, and the Black community was the community that was suffering from it. And in order to delegitimize this organization, the government provided things like food stamps. They provided after school programs at the local schools, public schools, which are really not good for our children. They also started to test for sickle cell anemia, and they just delegitimize the whole movement. And so as a people, I think that we just need to support one another. That's the main thing, because right now we're running on like an individualized mindset, which is not going to benefit our people in the long run.
Facts.
So I will be voting for this upcoming election period. While both their points are understandable, and I do come to some agreements, I cannot stand to watch Donald Trump in presidency any longer. Not to say that Biden is any better. And to their point, it's like selecting your oppressors. And if they're not your people, they won't have your best interests. All of that is both correct, and for the most part, I'm sure, or I hope we could all agree with that. But I
got a serious question. Oh, go ahead.
I have a question. So if you
For
vote,
me, yes,
if you vote and all the black people vote for Joe Biden and Trump gets in office again, will you be voting in the next election?
Well, I have a question. Do all the black people vote? Is that not the reason why most Republicans get into presidency? Because the youth don't vote, colored people don't vote. It's usually just older white people voting, right?
Youth, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say youth, but a lot of colored people do vote, and it still doesn't help them.
I can't think of 5 people that voted.
So
my grandma voted in her whole congregation of black people.
That's not youth, though.
I said black people.
I want to say one thing though. The thing that turns me off to voting is the fact that I know there's a lot of Colorado being one of the states that is exempt from this, but a lot of states do not allow felons to vote. And it's because of that right there. I mean, think about the school to prison pipeline. A lot of our young people are going to jail and or prison signing plea deals that, yes, your time may get reduced, but you still have a felony on your record. And I don't know if any of you guys have read Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow. She talks about how felonies affect people of color. And I have to speak from a personal standpoint. My mother was a felon. So I know how that can affect someone and how you have to make a lot of tough decisions because at the end of the day, you're not allowed to participate in what goes on around the country, whether it's voting or not. So you know what? I'm going to let the powers that be, because I believe that everything is framed by a higher power, and I call him the Most High. I believe he framed everything, and everything is how it is for a reason. There's a reason why Donald Trump is in office. And whether or not I would have voted or not, like she said, there's people that have been in the electoral college since the country was founded.
Exactly.
And so it's not our own individual votes that even get counted towards the presidential elections and how those points are accumulated. If you watch the news when all that's going on, because at one point I did vote, you see the way that they tally the score and you're just like, how did they even, mathematically speaking, it doesn't even make sense. My great-grandparents were Republicans. And I can't hold that against them because at one point in time, the Republican Party was a party that fought to free the slaves. You see what I'm saying? They were conservatives. They voted for Bush. I'm like, what? Like, y'all voted for who? I'm just like, I just personally would decide not. If there was somebody that represented me and who I am and my ideals and where I'm coming from with quote unquote, no, not with quote unquote. There was somebody that represented me and my ideals that had fringes on, y'all. I would consider voting for that person, but I would still have to get counsel on that.
And then not only that, but listen, let's not act like blacks and Hispanics didn't vote for Trump. Let's not act like they didn't vote for Trump too. Let's just not act like blacks and Hispanics don't like Trump.
You be seeing black people at his rallies. I'd be like,
Kanye West and all his followers were wearing the Make America Great Again hats. Come on, y'all. Let's not pretend. And then not only that, I respect conservative views. I particularly am conservative. But I mean, I wouldn't vote for Trump, but I'm conservative. I have some conservative views.
I like Trump.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I wouldn't go as far as to say that.
Hey, I said it. I'm gonna put the cat after that.
I like the fact that he says, I hate niggas. I hate spit. Ooh, I'm not gonna say that word. I hate Hispanics, and he's real about it. Don't be sitting in my face. Don't be sitting in my face being like, I love all you niggers. And at the house, that's what you be saying. I love all the niggers, but you don't.
So you appreciate his honesty.
I appreciate that little honest piece about him. He's like, I don't like y'all, and I don't care. I don't like y'all, and I don't care.
And I think that this is a perfect segue. A perfect. Let me say it again, y'all. A perfect segue into the next video. Again, we need some comedic relief from some of the stuff that we're talking about. Because I know if I was watching this and, you know, I didn't respect other people's viewpoints, because sometimes we act like we do, but in reality we don't. Especially if we say that there's something wrong with us personally, we attack that rather than the issue of the community as a whole. Let's just get into it. Cat Williams, we all love Cat Williams. This video is too hilarious to me.
The election changed everything. Everything has changed. And don't worry, white people, we're not going to talk politics. We're not going to say who voted for who. We're not going to get into that. We learn white people know how to keep a secret. Y'all didn't tell us shit this election, not nothing. We didn't know white people was up to something until they started showing white people in line voting. And all the white people looked like they had a secret to keep and shit. The white people is up to something. I can't wait to see what 2018 gonna be.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I'm like, whoa, what's gonna happen, y'all?
Exactly.
What's gonna happen?
And you know what? I'm here for it. Okay, whatever does happen, I'm here for it. You know, I live in America. They call me an American citizen. A denizen. I'm sorry, a denizen. So, yeah, I'm here for it. I'll be here when you guys are done voting and Trump is back in office, smiling at you guys.
Hey, and I'm just going to say this to the dude that wrote that article, Black Lives Don't Matter if you don't vote. Your life doesn't matter. You're just another cog in the machine, just like the rest of us. I mean, hey, I'm going to be with the people waiting on things to happen. Because I just like to see how the story's going to unfold.
Exactly. And then another thing is, we sit up here and we vote, right? And then we don't do nothing. We sit out here and we protest. Then we don't do nothing to change our community, to change ourselves. I'm just like, what are y'all voting for?
What are you going?
Why you want change in your nation, but you don't want change in yourself or your people?
Right.
That's all I got to say.
Are you ready for your
I
segment? All right, so we're gonna get into the next segment, y'all.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know why I clapped, but I did.
Girl,
It was
that
an
clap
awkward
almost
clap.
hit me in the face.
I was like,
Okay. Skirt. We're gonna go to the left on y'all. Go ahead, Mark.
yes,
What
indeed.
you bringing out for us?
So my section is usually just bringing out recent topics, trends, stuff like that. I do have a brain break in the middle first, but we're gonna start off with the Netflix series Cuties. If y'all aren't familiar, it's about a cheerleading, I guess, group or club, or I guess however that works. But there's a bunch of 11 and 12-year-olds twerking, and it's crazy how people in our society normalize is it pedophilia is how you would say that?
Exactly.
So it's almost like you never really recognize it unless you're aware about it. But I really hope it spreads awareness, because I mean I'm not gonna put nobody's this is just to spread awareness. You wouldn't even know who all's been touched though, in all seriousness though, like while we're talking about it. Like, yes, but if we could, so this article says, after a controversy over the poster for its upcoming film, Cuties, A newly released clip from the film has led to a hashtag cancel Netflix trending on social media. The movie focuses on a group of 11-year-old girls who form a twerking dance group. 11-year-old girls forming a twerking dance group, much to the what is that? What is that?
Check.
I've never heard that word before.
Treachery.
Yeah.
Treachery.
Of one of the characters' very conservative Senegalese family. Okay, Netflix previously apologized after the poster, so they knew they was wrong. Somebody had to know before posting that. Like, I don't even know, man. But okay, the French film showed the underage cast posting in a sexual manner. Now there's renewed criticism over the movie, which premiered at Sundance. And that's where I can end with the article. How do y'all feel about that?
Me personally, I think that what we do is we over sexualize our little girls way too soon, and we shouldn't sexualize our sisters and brothers, period, because we're already an exploited people. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all seen the WAP or the WAP or however the hell you say that is. That video. I mean, we're over sexualized already, you know, and because of the way that it's just promoting pedophilia. It's promoting pedophilia. People, you see a little girl and I'm gonna put in hoe material, the attire of a hoe. You see a little girl in it, and you may be the manliest man ever. Ain't never thought about messing with a little kid ever. And then you see a little girl dressed ultra sexy not sexy. Excuse my language. You see a little girl dressed over sexualized. I said sexy. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, you see a little girl dressed over sexualized, and your mind starts to wander, and you start to think all kind of weird things. And I think, as a people, we got to do better, man. We got to do better. There's no way around that. I shouldn't even be thinking about the adjective sexy and little kid, period. I shouldn't have to think of the word sexy and think about my sisters and brothers looking like hoes. Like, when you go to a cop, when you see somebody with a police uniform on, you expect if something happens in front of him, you expect him to, you know, come through with the law enforcement because that's his attire, that's his uniform. You assume that he's an active cop. Okay, so you approach him, officer, yada 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 yada. His response, yada yada yada. You see a girl dressed like a hooker. Now I don't know anybody that buys hookers, but you know, you see a woman dressed as a hooker and somebody approaches her on some this is what I'm looking for type stuff. You can't be offended because somebody's speaking to you based on the uniform that you have on. Be expected to be approached in that same manner because of the uniform you have on. A firefighter, there's a fire going on. You see somebody in a fighter uniform. You know that person's going to come through and try to, you know, rescue everybody that's in this situation. You see, you see a woman dressed like a harlot or a prostitute. That person should expect to be addressed in the same manner because you have on the uniform of a prostitute.
Exactly. You wearing the uniform and not expecting to get addressed by your uniform that you wearing. Also, I just wanted to speak to this point of the cuties thing. I'm just gonna play this real quick by the computer. You know what I'm saying? Dang, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? It might not work.
Yeah, it's been.
We'll talk. I'm gonna go through it further. Yeah, we gonna talk a little bit before this video plays. Ain't nothing wrong. I mean, age is but nothing but a number. That's what I'm playing. But age is nothing but a number. So this has been going on for a long time, where young girls are being victimized in this way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with this whole thing going on, I was watching The Shy the other day. There was a girl playing a 14-year-old, and they had a scene where she was butt naked, and I was just like, if she's playing a 14-year-old, isn't this child pornography? And I was just like, this is ridiculous. You know, some of the things that they promote, it's just crazy. That's all I gotta say.
Right. And it's crazy because today, you know, there's an organization called NABLA, and there's also the North American Boy Lovers Association, where they're making it okay for grown men or they're trying to make it okay to make it seem like it's a mental, psychological thing, and it's okay for grown men to lay with little boys. Like that's not okay, y'all. That's not okay. It's not okay at all. And we as the people, we gotta wake up, man.
And this really just goes back to ancient Rome, where pedophilia was on like a rampage, and everybody was pedophiles. So yeah, let's not go back to those times. I want my kids to stay kids as long as they can.
And aren't there traditions where like families like marry off their daughter super young?
Oh yeah, like in India and stuff. Yeah. At like 12 years old.
I know they probably won't feel the same.
That's pedophilia.
And see, I believe in arranged
to 80-year-old man. Come on.
Of a minor though?
No, see, that's what I was about to say. Like, I believe in arranged marriages to be able to organize and decide who my potential child, whether it's a man or a girl, or a boy or a girl, when the day I get married, we come together and just, you know, have a discussion on what's the best interest of our child. And, you know, we want her to get married to a righteous man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that is doing what he needs to do and that's able to provide. You know what I'm saying? And so,
there was a show set up by my mom, hooked up by my mom or my dad. It was a good show. I watched it. It was like on like MTV or something, and they were meeting their potential, meeting the people's potential, like people they wanted to get married to or whatever. And then they were like, oh, well, you would be a good match. And a lot of the couples worked out because the parents really know their kid. And they were like, you would be a good match for my kid because, you know, you're funny. She likes funny guys. She likes to travel. You travel, you know, so.
That reminds me of a show on Netflix that I was binge watching for a good like week and a half or maybe 2 weeks. It's this Indian arranged marriage show. You know, India, like North or West Indians or East Indians. But their parents were arranging marriages for their children. And I could see the effectiveness in it, but also I don't believe that a person is grown until they're like 20. And you still need to have your own place. So you're not really grown. You know, to society, American society, yes, you're grown. You're old enough to go to prison as an adult, to be tried as an adult. You could be 16 years old and be tried as an adult. You could be 14 and be tried as an adult. So
you could be 8 and tried as an adult.
Right. So if you know better, you need to do better. And that's just how that is.
Yes.
And that's a segue into our next point.
Yes, ma'am. So now is our brain break. No articles or nothing, just a brief discussion. So there's been rumors of Black Panther 2. If they should continue the series, which yes, I think they should. Do y'all agree?
Yeah, I think that, you know, not having T'Challa in the mix may make it a little weird. I don't know how they're gonna play that out, or I don't know how they're gonna do that. I don't know how they're gonna kill him off. As you know, he's dead. I'm not trying to say
they should have they should try to do like an accidental death, like where he accidentally dies, because if he dies in like a brutal way.
I used to watch soap operas, y'all. I used to watch soap operas and they would kill people off the show. You know what I'm saying? Because you did something that makes the show look bad. I'm like, how are they going to do that though? Because he's not allowed to play out that role of like, okay, this is how I died. This is the plot leading up to that climax of me getting killed off and then, you know, coming to that place of like reconciliation.
And then, like you said, they're probably going to get somebody to play that looks like him.
Absolutely. Well, I know some of the rumors were having his younger sister picking up the Black Panther role. And then if you guys are familiar with Michael J. I can't remember his name. No, I don't think it's him. They've been thinking of a bunch of different candidates. I don't think they do Michael B. Jordan just because of in the previous Black Panther he was Killmonger and already dead, right? They killed him, right?
Yeah, but what if they spin it off like he didn't really die? He rose up and because I've seen this on Facebook. It's crazy, y'all. These people that I have on Facebook, they're amazing, amazing. But Michael B. Jordan, he was like the activist. Like he was down for his community. You know, he was tired of the injustice that was going on in America. And T'Challa was like more of like the I'm gonna let these people I'm gonna let these people use and abuse my intelligence and things. He had that white dude working for him and all that stuff. It was more like a cosmopolitan type of deal. But then you have the activists who the Black people go against each other just to kill. Like, I just think that's crazy. I didn't even think of it like that. I didn't see him as like a Black nationalist. And that's so I'm pretty sure that
I mean, I was just gonna go to our next topic. If you had more to say.
I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm good.
Okay, my apologies. But on to our next topic. Just a little bit of sports news, because sports fanatic. This is actually quite sad. So turn on the sad music. So it says California University of Pennsylvania defensive tackle Jermaine Stevens dies at the age of 20. Jermaine Stevens, a football player at Division II California University of Pennsylvania, died Tuesday. The CalU Athletic Department confirmed death statement of COVID-19.
COVID-19.
So, again, just continue. The virus is still out there. Please continue to protect yourselves. Are you pulling up the burn video?
Yeah. I just want to say rest in peace, all respect to you and your family.
Steven's family.
COVID-19 is like very serious, and I hope that our people can eat right and just exercise. And I know that he was probably exercising and eating right. I don't know what underlying conditions he had or what led up to his tragic death, but I hope that they can kind of figure that out, because as a people we need to know what is causing our people to die from this virus. So yeah.
Absolutely. So as this concludes our Make a Culture Move segment,
we're gonna leave off on COVID-19.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if y'all have seen this, but we were laughing at this the other day because this is a serious topic. And I do think that having a little bit of comedic relief helps us out. You know, as a people, we like comedy. I like comedy. I don't know about y'all, but I like to laugh. So we're going to watch this and we're going to laugh together, hopefully, you know.
Vimeo has become part of my everyday processes. We are using Vimeo links on.
Okay.
Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord. COVID-19, 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 COVID-19. I know the will of God. From the state of Washington to the state of Maine, Brownsville, Texas, and today, we speak to this atmosphere.
Today!
Burn this thing. This virus hates heat. You just burn this thing. Burn. I call for a supernatural heat wave straight out of here. Burn. COVID-19. 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 I know the will of God. You get out of here right now. Don't do it.
viewing us today. Have a wonderful day,
Have a good day,
Yes,
y'all.
indeed. Happy MACM Friday for us.
And stay away from COVID-19.
Burn.
Burn.